Welcome back to the MMA news, everyone. Today, we're diving into some surprising news from Yuri Prochazka, who shared a shocking detail with Joe Rogan after his recent fight. Prochazka added yet another highlight to his career at UFC 311 by defeating Jamal Hill in a thrilling matchup. However, the former light heavyweight champion admitted he made a risky mistake leading up to the fight, one that could have had serious consequences for the Czech samurai. Before we continue, don't forget to like the video to support the channel. As many predicted, Prochazka and Hill put on an all-out war at UFC 311. Prochazka ultimately secured the victory in round 3 with a powerful flurry of punches, solidifying his position among the top contenders in the light heavyweight division. This win was especially crucial for Prochazka after his tough loss to Alex Pereira last year. Recently, the 32-year-old appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast to reflect on his performance. During the conversation, Prochazka revealed that he had stayed in the sauna far too long before the fight, an error that could have jeopardized his health and performance.
I thought I will do my best when I will go to the sauna night before the weigh-in and spend there. And again, I switched myself in the sauna and I was there like for 2 hours.
Oh no!
The fun is, the second day after that, and I didn't drink anything after the sauna. And next day morning, I went to the control weight, and then I have, I don't know how to say in the libras, 91 kilograms. I'm fighting in 93 and half, and I was 2.5 kilograms under my weight.
So it's like 200 pounds.
So yeah. I was the only one guy who was in a row to the weigh-in, and I tried to hide myself before other guys, and I drank 1 liter of the water, 2nd liter of the water.
Wow. Just because you didn't want to weigh in light.
Because I spent too much time in the sun.
Welcome back to the MMA news. Let's dive into some of the latest updates, starting with Yuri Prochazka's surprising confession and moving on to big news about Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira, and more. Prochazka's sauna mishap. After Yuri Prochazka's impressive win over Jamal Hill at UFC 311, fans were buzzing about his performance. However, during his appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, Prochazka revealed a surprising mistake: he spent way too much time in the sauna before the fight. Thankfully, this overstay didn't seem to affect his performance, as he secured a third-round finish with a dominant display of punches. Despite this victory, Prochazka may face a challenging path back to the title, especially since he's lost twice to Alex Pereira. If Pereira remains the champion, Prochazka will likely need to prove himself further before getting another shot. Who do you think Yuri should face next? Adesanya talks about training with Pereira. Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira once had one of the fiercest rivalries in MMA, but it seems those days are behind them. After battling 4 times, including Adesanya's memorable knockout win in 2023, the two have expressed mutual respect and even discussed the possibility of training together. Ahead of Adesanya's upcoming fight against Nasruddin Imavov at UFC Saudi Arabia, he spoke to MMA Fighting about the idea of working with Pereira. Adesanya said, "Yeah, I'm definitely open to it down the road. We've both moved on from our rivalry, and there's no bad blood. But right now, it hasn't happened because of timing and distance. One day, it will. For now, we're both focused on helping our team succeed." Adesanya also noted that his teammate, Carlos Ulberg, is making waves in the division and could soon become a title contender. If that happens, it might delay any potential training sessions between Adesanya and Pereira. Meanwhile, Pereira is set to defend his light heavyweight title against Nurmagomedov at UFC 313 on March 8. Pereira's camp recently shared footage of his intense preparation for the fight. Who do you think will come out on top in this highly anticipated matchup? Corey Sandhagen calls out Merab Dvalishvili. Merab Dvalishvili has established himself as a dominant force in the bantamweight division, recently handing Umar Nurmagomedov his first loss. While some wonder if anyone can stop him, Corey Sandhagen believes he has the skills to do it. Speaking with SiriusXM, Sandhagen said, "I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I believe I have the style to beat Merab. My footwork is some of the best in the sport, and I know how to manage space and defend takedowns efficiently. If anyone can figure him out, it's me." Although Sandhagen recently lost to Umar Nurmagomedov, he remains confident in his abilities. Do you think Sandhagen could be the one to dethrone Merab if they ever meet? Could Max Holloway beat Islam Makhachev? Islam Makhachev is making history as the most dominant lightweight champion in UFC history. But could Max Holloway pose a real threat to his reign? Recently, Beneil Dariush weighed in, saying, Max is one of the toughest and most creative fighters in the sport. I think he could push Islam to his limits. What do you think? Could Holloway's striking and pace challenge the lightweight king? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Welcome back to the MMA news. We've got all the latest updates, including Prochaska's sauna slip, Adesanya's thoughts on training with Pereira, the lightweight division's buzz, and reactions to Usman Nurmagomedov's latest fight. Let's dive in. Yuri Prochaska's sauna mistake after his thrilling victory over Jamal Hill at UFC 311. Yuri Prochaska admitted on Joe Rogan's podcast that he spent far too much time in the sauna before the fight. Thankfully, it didn't seem to affect his performance, as he finished Hill with a flurry of punches in the third round. This win keeps Prochaska in the title conversation, but with 2 losses to Alex Pereira, his road back to the top could be long, especially if Pereira retains his belt. Who do you want to see Prochaska face next? Adesanya open to training with Pereira. Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira's epic rivalry has turned into mutual respect. After their 4 battles, including Adesanya's highlight reel knockout in 2023, Adesanya said he's open to training with Pereira someday. Speaking to MMA Fighting ahead of his fight with Nasruddin Imavov at UFC Saudi Arabia, Adesanya said, "I got what I wanted from that rivalry. One day, we'll train together, but the timing hasn't worked out yet." For now, Pereira is focused on defending his light heavyweight title against Magomed Ankalaev at UFC 313, while Adesanya plans to stick to middleweight. Could we see these 2 icons team up in the future? Sandhagen thinks he can beat Merab. Merab Dvalishvili continues to dominate the bantamweight division, recently defeating Umar Nurmagomedov. However, Corey Sandhagen believes he has the tools to stop Merab. "I've got some of the best footwork in the division," Sandhagen told SiriusXM. "I know how to control space and defend takedowns efficiently. My style could be his kryptonite." Although Sandhagen recently suffered a loss, his confidence remains high. Do you think Sandhagen can dethrone Merab in the future? Could Max Holloway challenge Islam Makhachev? Islam Makhachev has cemented his status as one of the greatest lightweights in UFC history, but could Max Holloway give him a real challenge? Holloway is known for his relentless cardio, strong boxing, and underrated wrestling defense. However, many wonder if he has the jiu-jitsu skills to handle Makhachev's grappling and submission threats. What do you think? Should Holloway test himself against the lightweight king? Fight announcements. UFC matchmakers have been busy, and here are some exciting bouts scheduled for March 1st in Las Vegas. Featherweights: Ricardo Ramos vs. Chbi Mariscal. Bantamweights: Douglas Silva de Andrade vs. John Castañeda. Heavyweights: Austin Lane vs. Mario Pinto. Lane is looking to build momentum after snapping a 2-fight skid, while Pinto, undefeated at 9-0, makes his UFC debut after earning a contract on Dana White's Contender Series. Islam Makhachev at 185? After his dominant win at UFC 311, Islam Makhachev teased the idea of competing at middleweight. However, former UFC fighter and analyst Alan Jubin isn't convinced. "I like seeing fighters dominate their division and set records," Jubin told MMA Junkie. "Moving up 2 weight classes is unreasonable. He's got nothing to lose, and it doesn't put anything at stake. It's better if he focuses on lightweight or welterweight." Do you think Makhachev should aim for belts at 170 and 185, or stay at lightweight to build his legacy? Usman Nurmagomedov vs. Paul Hughes. Reaction: Usman Nurmagomedov retained his Bellator lightweight title after a hard-fought majority decision win over Paul Hughes at PFL's event in Dubai. The fight, already being hailed as an early Fight of the Year contender, drew mixed reactions online. Dustin Poirier praised Hughes, saying, "That dude can fight." Dylan Dennis and others argued Hughes deserved the win, claiming the judges got it wrong. On the other hand, Bilal Muhammad and others defended the result, emphasizing the close nature of the rounds. Hughes is calling for a rematch in Belfast, and fans are rallying behind the idea. Even Conor McGregor weighed in, calling it an easy win for Hughes and criticizing Nurmagomedov's style. Would you like to see these two run it back? That's it for now. Who are you rooting for in these upcoming fights, and what are your thoughts on the biggest news? Drop a comment and let us know.
Who will be interesting would be Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway could be a good, interesting fight for Makhachev. So we'll see.
Interesting. Clarify. Why do you think Max Holloway?
Because he's hard to hold. He has excellent cardio, and he throws a lot of volume. And I think these are things that could be difficult for Makhachev. And then, interestingly enough, you know, like if you watch the fight with Merab, he has excellent cardio, and he was able to do so much with that excellent cardio. You know, and I think. I don't remember the last time I saw Holloway in the 4th or the 5th round, and, you know, he's slowing down. So I think he has something similar.
Khabib and Paul Hughes exchange messages following their thrilling fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov sent a heartfelt message to Paul Hughes on social media. "Thank you for the fight, Paul Hughes, and for the experience. I invite you, your whole team, and your family to Dagestan anytime you want. Believe me, you will enjoy it, and your arrival will serve as a great example for many young generations." Hughes graciously responded, "Thank you, Khabib. I have great respect for you, your team, and your nation. I would be honored to take you up on this offer someday and will gladly return the favor in Ireland. But please, only after I get to rematch Usman." This exchange of respect shows the sportsmanship and camaraderie that makes MMA so special. Would you like to see Hughes visit Dagestan or Khabib explore Ireland? Dana White makes last-minute change to UFC 312. UFC 312 has undergone a significant shakeup. Cody Hayden, who was set to face Alexander Topuria, has withdrawn due to injury. Australian MMA reporter Benny P confirmed the unfortunate news, tweeting, "From what I've heard, the rumor of Cody Hayden being out of his fight against Alexander Topuria is true. It's a shame, as Cody has faced a lot of bad luck with injuries over the years. This fight was one of my most anticipated matchups of UFC 312. The UFC moved quickly to keep Alexander on the card, booking Colby Thickness as his new opponent. Interestingly, Thickness is Alexander's training and sparring partner, making this an intriguing matchup. What are your thoughts on this last-minute change? Does this new pairing make UFC 312 even more exciting, or were you looking forward to the original matchup? Let us know in the comments below.
Thought I'd put this out, talk about the fight, could be all right in the post, but just hit them stitches. Yeah, look, obviously as always I'm going to have to watch it back to get a good assessment and a clear-minded assessment, but as we know, we all thought I won that one. I think the judges' scorecards were pretty ridiculous, but I mean, as I say, I'll watch it back with a clear mind. I'm just judging from the energy of the arena and everyone surrounding the cage. I thought it was mine. I'm not going to make excuses though. I should have pushed harder. And I will the next time. I know we'll fight again. Felt like the stoppage with the 4th round with the head clash changed the momentum of the fight. I feel like I was breaking him. I was ripping him so hard to the body, and I felt him releasing. I knew my momentum was coming up, and I would have emptied the tank, but that changed the kind of the flow, and he got good recovery. Which, look, the headbutt was a headbutt. It was accidental. He has all the right to take that recovery. But yeah, I just want to. I'm obviously disappointed. I'm gutted. I really am. I'm proud of myself, but I need to get that back. I deserve to have that belt soon. But I just want to thank everyone for coming.